What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Post-Gazette Pirates YouTube channel. He is Colin Beazley. I am Noah Hiles. I am in Pittsburgh. Colin is in Los Angeles, where the Pirates just concluded a 3-game series against the Angels, taking 2 of 3 against the Halos, lose in, a kind of a disappointing fashion Thursday evening, get out to a 3-0 lead, and then allow 4 unanswered runs. Chase Sugart gets the loss, prevents the Pirates from getting their first sweep on the year. But still, a much-needed series victory. First road series win on the season for the Pirates. Colin, before we get into our takeaways, just your quick thoughts on everything that unfolded. Just a general synopsis, I guess.
Yeah, first two. I'd say this was overall a good series for the Pirates. The first 2 days were excellent, of course. The offense was there. The pitching was there. It was all things were good. Today, little bit of a disappointing loss. It kind of feels like a missed opportunity at what could have been a sweep, but at the same time, it wasn't one of those losses where the Pirates have had this year where it feels like the sky is falling. It kind of just feels like this is a baseball game loss, a 4-3 game. Not obviously not the result you want, but also not something that's hugely something to overreact about. I'd say taking 2 of 3 is something that most in Pittsburgh would have taken before this series began.
Absolutely. And you did it in a series where there was no Paul Skenes, there was no Mitch Keller. But there was perhaps the true ace of the staff on the mound this series. And that's where I guess we could start off with our first takeaway. The Heen dog, Andrew Heaney, continues to shove. He throws 6 shutout innings to get the win on Wednesday night. I don't have the numbers in front of me. You might know them off the top of your head. How many shutout inning? What's his shutout inning streak up to now? Like 16?
I believe
Something
it's
like that?
16 and a third. I believe it's
16
16 and
and
a
a
third.
third shutout innings in a row. He's shoving. Colin, just your impressions on Andrew Heaney.
Is it time to say Andrew Heaney is going to be the Pirates All-Star this year? Is it time? People are
Well,
saying.
he's not going to be. I mean, Skenes is going to be an all-star as well.
Joking,
Just
of
Major
course.
League Baseball will force that. But I don't
Of
think it's
course.
out of the conversation to say that he's setting himself up to be an all-star potentially if he keeps throwing
Yeah,
like this.
I don't know. I'm mostly kidding, but his first 5
Yeah.
starts have been excellent. He has been really, really good in a Pirates uniform. He's been better than pretty much anyone could have imagined. And even manager Derek Shelton even kind of mentioned that. He said that they didn't know exactly what they were getting from Andrew Heaney, and he's been excellent. They've seen why he's pitched in big games. Again, he's a 33-year-old veteran. That's not necessarily to say that these 5 starts are going to be the way it's going to be throughout the entire season. It could be. I talked about it yesterday that he's throwing some of the best in his career, and he seems to be getting better with age. I don't necessarily know that it'll be something that lasts, but the stuff was really, really good this series. He had a career high 24 whiffs. A lot of things to like from Andrew Heaney in this series and throughout the season overall.
Yeah. In addition to his production, there's just 2 other things that I think we should note with Heaney. The first being that, I mean, what a pickup that this ended up being. They signed him a week into spring training as just an additional depth piece because they figured Oviedo was going to be heading toward the shelf. And man, could you imagine what this rotation would look like without him right now? Because they lose Jones. And I mean, let's face it, Majinski hasn't looked incredible as a starter. I thought he was fine today. I still don't think he's like a proven big league starter that you can trust every 5 days to throw. And then like Thomas Harrington still needs develop. Like they would have really had to dip into their reinforcements without this guy. And so not only did he save their rear ends at the start of the season by just being there, but this guy is continuously, saving their bullpen innings. Bailey Falter hasn't consistently gone deep into games this year. There's been a couple of starts where he's gone deep. I think he threw 7 shutout innings, obviously the one time. And then I think his first start of the season, he went 6. But every other start, I believe, has been 5 or less. So he's kind of been a guy where the bullpen needs to cover at least 3 to 4 innings every time he pitches. And then obviously the book on Carmen Mlodzinski is you're happy to get 5 from him. And when you have guys like Skenes and Keller, the bullpen's not going to be taxed when they're pitching. But to get that third guy who can give you length in between Bailey and Carmen, that's huge. You're not taxing anybody. And then when you add on top of it that not only is he going deep, but he's pitching well, you're giving guys low leverage innings at times. Like, you're not forcing Dennis Santana out there in a 1-0 game in the 9th inning. He's been huge, not only from a production standpoint, but he's bailed them out in numerous other areas when it comes to the construction of this pitching staff. It's been a huge addition.
Yeah, one of the reasons that the bullpen has been so effective of late is because the starting pitching has been good. There haven't been too many games where the bullpen needs to cover 4, 5, or more innings. They've kind of had 3, 4, even 2 at times innings to cover. And when you've got that, and when you're well rested, and when you get guys into situations they're prepared for and aren't getting people up early and aren't making your low leverage arms pitch multiple innings, it leads to really, really good things. I want to shout out the bullpen throughout this series. They didn't allow a run until the 10th inning of work they had in the series. Obviously, that ended up being the one that cost them today. But overall, a good series.
Another good series overall, Colin, was the top third of this lineup. Some consistency. I know that's a bugaboo for the fans. Everyone gets mad that Derek Shelton doesn't have the same lineup ever. Well, they actually did it back-to-back days in this series. Tuesday and Wednesday had the same exact starting 9, although I wouldn't put too much stock into it. But I do think the one thing that's worth highlighting here, Colin, is that it looks like they figured out the top third. And that's huge for this team because, the leadoff spot was always such a question. And now with Cruz really clicking there, not only has he got himself going where he's hit another home run today, but Reynolds and McCutchen are swinging hot bats as well. And with that top third producing at a high rate, this team's got a much better shot to win.
Yeah, I think Cruz has really answered the leadoff question for the Pirates. He's been really, really good. Third leadoff home run of the season tonight. Hit 7 overall. He hits for power, more power than anyone else on this team. He has speed. He basically has a lot of what you'd want from a number one hitter. And you can see that the guys around him in the lineup, not just Reynolds and McCutchen, but also IKF behind or in front of him, they play off of having Cruz around them in the lineup. I am interested to see how Andrew McCutchen is used over the next few days and just in general. Today was the third time he played, third game in a row, third game in 3 days. I thought that it might be one that you wanted to give him a rest. Maybe going in, just knowing you have the Dodgers ahead. Maybe tomorrow's that night when you're going against a tough righty like Yoshinobu Yamamoto, which we'll talk about more later. Or maybe you decide that you want everything in that one. I know Kutch wants to play every day. I don't think he can play every day. I think he can play more than he has played at the beginning of the season, but I'm curious to see how he's used over the next 3 games of the Dodgers series, and moving forward throughout this year.
Yeah. They're going to need him in the lineup every day this upcoming weekend because they're facing 3 studs. But one quick final point I wanted to make on this top third. With these 3 all hitting the ball well and kind of playing off of each other, it solves a huge problem that the Pirates have had pretty much the whole season, and that's being able to score runs off the starting pitcher. They're scoring runs in the first 2-3 innings of a game, and that's just not been the case for this team for the majority of the season. I mean, part of it is, like you mentioned, Colin, just Oneil Cruz giving them a 1-0 lead with one swing of the bat, but it hasn't just been that. I mean, they've manufactured runs in different ways because of this top third hitting the ball well, and that's what they need. They need to take advantage of these starting pitchers. You can't allow, your starter to get into the 7th inning, and despite throwing a quality start, sometimes a shutout, they've got no run support, so it's worthless. If you just give these guys a couple of runs early on, your bullpen's good enough to maintain it. You've just got to get them, and it looks like they're trending in an area where that can be something consistent, ideally for that team or for the club. So
Yeah, the offense
third,
is trending in a positive direction. I just want to say real quick, like before the last 5 games, they had 10 or more hits. First 20 games of the season, that happened twice. Pirates offense has been much better of late. I still don't know that it's something that'll last too much, but it's definitely signs of life, signs that there maybe has been some unluckiness and it's evening out a little bit. Obviously, the Angels starting pitching isn't exactly what they'll face in Los Angeles over the next 3 days, but some positive signs.
Third big takeaway, I think, Colin, from this series are the roster moves that took place. Some pretty notable moves here. So Jack Suwinski optioned. Gorski's contract is selected, and he and Mike Burrows get promoted from AAA Indianapolis. Justin Lawrence goes on the IL with right elbow inflammation. So a lot to unpack there. I think we can start off with Suwinski. Seemed like this was something that needed to happen, Colin.
Absolutely. This was something where obviously everyone has talked about what he did 2 years ago with that 26 home run season. He hasn't been the same hitter over the last 2 years, and I think that this is something that will give him every opportunity to get some of that confidence back and potentially be a factor later in the season. It's possible. It's really just an opportunity for him to get right because he hasn't been right this season, and he's been given a ton of opportunities so far on the major league level this season. I think that by giving it to Gorski now, a guy who's done well at the minor league level, it shows that they're trying to make moves and they're rewarding production. And regardless of whether Jack Suwinski figures it out or not, I think this was something that needed to happen and a move that's happening at the right time.
Yeah. I mean, it's frustrating for them because he looked really good this spring. And he looked like the player that he used to be. And boy, did he just not carry that over into the regular season at all. I mean, Gorski and Burrows, we can talk about a little bit. Obviously, Gorski with the home run today. It seems like this has been a long time coming for him. I mean, he's 27 years old, has the great moment, the home run in his first at bat. And I've been saying it for a while now. I mean, this guy provides value. He provides a little bit of pop. I don't know if you can depend on him to be a consistent power hitter, but he can give you a home run every, 10 games or so. Probably not that much actually, but like he can give you a home run every now and then, and he can also give you really good defense. We saw the versatility today, starting the game at first base, moved to left field. How many guys in baseball are able to do that in a game? Start at first base and then move to left field. So I think there's some value there, and I think this is an opportunity he deserved.
Beyond that, just the home run today, how cool of a moment was that? To homer in your first major league at bat, that's just all around an awesome thing to see. I don't think he's necessarily the answer to the Pirates' offensive struggles, but he was good today. Yeah. He'll be given opportunities going forward, and I think that it's good to see that the Pirates are rewarding that minor league production and giving him an opportunity while at the same time giving Suwinski a chance to get right in the minor league level.
And then final note here, Justin Lawrence to the IL. That's unfortunate. And I hope it's not anything too serious because, Colin, this guy looked really, really good since they claimed him off waivers. I mean, I thought he looked really good this spring. The sweeper is obviously one of the nastier pitches you're going to see in baseball. And, I mean, I thought he fit right into what they needed with just he's probably like their second right-handed leverage arm. And I think that's a big loss if he's going to be down for significant time.
Yeah, he's been really, really good this year. Wasn't quite right in his last outing with those 2 walks. I think you noticed that something might be off. I didn't necessarily think it was going to be an injury. Was kind of caught by surprise when Derek Shelton mentioned it before the game today. I kind of wonder, like, with today when Chase Sugart ended up pitching the 8th inning, is that a situation where maybe Justin Lawrence would go into if he had been healthy? I don't know. Derek Shelton's probably the only one who could answer that. And it's not really It's something that's purely a hypothetical, so there's not much you can do about it. But maybe he would have been the one they would have gone to in that situation, and maybe there would have been a different result. Maybe we'd still be playing baseball. Who knows? I don't think it's too big of a deal, 1 run in 10 innings for the bullpen. I'm not chalking this up as something more than it is or reason to worry about Chase Sugart, but it is something that I'm at least thinking about now. If Justin Lawrence was healthy, would he maybe have pitched the 8th in that situation?
Yeah, definitely worth considering. All right, Colin, we're going to take a quick break to hear from our sponsor. When we come back, we're going to preview the upcoming series against the Dodgers.
Hey, Pittsburgh. When you think of great roofs, you think Greenewalt Roofing Company. With over 20 years' experience, Greenewalt knows your roof is your home's first line of defense. From rain, wind, snow, and ice. That's why Greenewalt Roofing's standard for perfection is so important. You can trust that their team of experienced installers will treat your property like it's their own. When it comes to roof replacements, Greenewalt Roofing is Pittsburgh's only choice. Visit greenewaltroofing.com today or call 412-314-8882 to schedule your free estimate. PA contractor number 36262.
Big thanks to Greenewalt Roofing, as always. All right, Colin, let's look at it. They play the other Los Angeles team, the one that spends more money and wins more games. And as of last year, wins the championship as well. So, Skenes versus Yamamoto, Friday evening. That's about as good of a pitching matchup as you could ask to see in the National League right now. Mitch Keller versus Roki Sasaki on Saturday. Also pretty good. Bailey Falter, Tyler Glasnow concludes it. Not as exciting, but still fun. Let me just ask you, when I read that list of matchups off, what game do the Pirates have the best chance of winning in those 3? Because obviously Skenes is their best pitcher, but Yamamoto is throwing the ball incredibly well right now. He's 3-1 with an 0.93 ERA.
Yeah, just as a baseball fan, I'm excited for this series. I'm excited to see how the Pirates stack up against the team that, at least on paper, is the best team in baseball. They've struggled a little bit of late, but it's going to be really interesting to see. As for the game, I think they have the best chance to win. Part of me wants to say Skenes because he is Paul Skenes. He's pitched well this year. But the other thing is Yamamoto, as you mentioned, has been really, really good. The Pirates haven't been that great offensively on Skenes days. I'd say the best chance they have to win is going to be Saturday with Mitch Keller. Mitch Keller has been really, really good. I think that he's someone who maybe is due for a little bit of run support. I know that's not an analytical term. Maybe he's just a little bit due. And with Roki Sasaki, I think he's an interesting guy for the Pirates to face. He's someone who isn't necessarily the type of bona fide pitcher that Yamamoto is, where you know what you're going to get with him. With Sasaki, he hasn't been able to go too deep into starts. He hasn't necessarily shown his A-plus stuff yet. Is facing the Pittsburgh Pirates the what's going to make him look like an ace? It's possible. It's also possible where he could struggle and have a short outing. I think that it's more likely that he has a bad outing and the Pirates get to him than they get to Yamamoto on Friday. Yeah,
I could see that. Yeah, the Sunday matchup just looks a little tough right now. All right, three guys to watch here, Colin. I think there's one obvious one. He's the guy that the sport kind of revolves around right now. Shohei Ohtani, 6 home runs, 847 OPS. Roki Sasaki, I think, is another worth watching just because he's the number 1 prospect in baseball, looking for his first major league win. Seems like the Pirates might be a decent candidate for them to get after. And then Tommy Edman has quietly had like one of the best starts in baseball. 8 home runs, 843 OPS. Colin, before we wrap it up here, I always like when I do my preview videos now to give a bold prediction for the series. Give me yours. Bold prediction for the Pirates-Dodgers series.
What the heck? Let's go for it. Let's say Bailey Falter ends up having a good outing on Sunday. And I'm not going to say that he's going to outpitch Tyler Glasnow, but I'll say he matches him and gives the Pirates a very good chance to win on Sunday. I don't know if that's too lukewarm a take, but
that is very lukewarm, but it's okay.
All right, fine. Seven scoreless innings from Bailey Falter. Let's say.
Whoa.
Let's say
okay. Now we're getting.
Let's go
hot.
for it.
All right.
If I gotta be hot, I'll be hot. Let's do it.
My prediction for this series. Let me see. I wrote it down. Was Valdez getting 3 extra base hits? He got 0. So I was wrong for the Angels series. My bold prediction for this series against the Dodgers, Paul Skenes, 10 strikeouts Friday night. I'm going to say that.
That'd be box office right there.
Yes, he's pitched in Dodger Stadium once. It was the first time he allowed more than 3 earned runs in a game in his career. It was 4 over 6 innings against the team that won the World Series. So it wasn't that terrible of a start. And I believe the only home run he's allowed hit off of his splinker. Teoscar Hernandez tagged it. Colin, are they winning any games this series?
I'll go 1-2. I think they'll get one somewhere.
I think they're going to get swept. That's my take. He's Colin Beazley. I'm Noah Hiles. You can check out all of our work at post-gazette.com and subscribe to the Post-Gazette's YouTube channel at PG Pirates. We'll have you covered for the remainder of the season.
Thank you for checking out this content from Post-Gazette Sports. If you watch this video on YouTube, please like the video and subscribe to our channel. For all of the sports coverage the Post-Gazette has to offer, visit post-gazette.com.